Werewolves versus Vampires. The real origin showdown. Forget Twilight. The first screams weren't scripted. They came from Balkan graveyards when a bloated corpse was staked and kept chewing. We're not asking who'd win in a cage match. We're asking where the cage came from. What primal fears birthed these monsters, and why do we think they're enemies? The truth is far stranger than fiction. We're going past the capes and CGI to a time when vampire meant a plague-spreading corpse, and werewolf wasn't a hero, but a cursed relative. You'll learn why peasants buried scythes over graves and discover the most shocking truth of all. These two monsters were never enemies in folklore. Their rivalry is a modern invention, and we're peeling back the layers to find the unsettling origins. The vampire. Corpse in the doorway. Picture a 17th century Serbian village. When a mysterious illness strikes a family, they blame the first to die. They open his grave and find the body bloated, unnaturally preserved, with blood on its mouth. To them, it's a vampire, so they drive a stake through its heart. This wasn't a seductive count, this was a reanimated corpse, a supernatural scapegoat for a disease they couldn't see: tuberculosis. Early vampires, or upirs, weren't just blood drinkers, they were plague spreaders. The method for dispatching them wasn't glamorous: a hawthorn stake, decapitation, and fire. It was only in the 1700s, when the stories traveled west, that writers cleaned the creature up, swapping grave dirt for an aristocratic cape. So the original vampire was more zombie than Casanova. If you're enjoying this deep dive, hit subscribe, because next we're hunting the werewolf, and its history is even more ancient. The werewolf. Curse with paws. The werewolf is even older. In the Epic of Gilgamesh, a goddess turns a man into a wolf. The Greek king Lycaon served Zeus human flesh and was cursed to become a wolf for his arrogance. In medieval Europe, the fear exploded. Some were accused of being werewolves through dark magic, while others were seen as cursed victims. And forget silver bullets. That's an 18th century invention. The original solution was simpler: steel or fire. Interestingly, not all werewolves were evil. In Ireland, the legendary Fowlad were said to guard children. But as real wolves were hunted to extinction in places like Britain, the fear of the mythical werewolf only grew louder, a human fear projected onto an empty forest. When the myths collide. So when did these two paths cross? In some Balkan folklore, a werewolf that died without last rites could rise again as a vampire-like creature called a verkolikas. It wasn't a rivalry, it was a horrifying career path. The real connection was forged in literature. Bram Stoker's Dracula, published in 1897, could shapeshift into a wolf, cementing the association in our culture. From there, Hollywood created the rivalry we know today: the cold, controlled vampire versus the chaotic, instinct-driven werewolf. But in original folklore, they were feared for the same reason: the terrifying idea that someone you know could become a monster. So, who would win in a folklore-accurate fight? In a forest, the werewolf's brute strength wins. But in a village, the vampire's invisible plague would claim more victims before the fight even started. The great vampire-werewolf rivalry isn't an ancient turf war. It's two separate nightmares that Hollywood welded together. The vampire was a scapegoat for disease. The werewolf was a warning about our own inner beast. Their rivalry is modern, but the fear is timeless. It's the panic over the fragile line between human and monster, civilization and savagery. So now that you know the true origins, which ancient terror do you find more frightening? The silent, plague-spreading corpse or the cursed wolf that was once a man? Let me know in the comments.